From possessed dolls and preserved alien evidence to tributes to the master of macabre himself. Today we are going museum hopping, spooky style. Think of it as a field trip if the field trip chaperone was Mulder and the gift shop sold cursed snow globes. Welcome to Pop Culture Passport, your ultimate guide to quirky and cool destinations across the US. I'm your host, Beth Scalacci, aka the Roman Yeti, here to help you dive into the world of theme parks, uncover film and TV locations, and explore quirky museums, roadside attractions, and legendary venues that capture the heart and soul of this unique country. So grab your pop culture passport and let's discover destinations that resonate with your interest, not just with what's trending on social media. Are you ready? Let's roam! Welcome back. Today's episode is perfect for spooky season, but honestly, I'd visit most of these places any time of year. We're diving into 10 museums that celebrate the eerie side of history and storytelling, including horror movie icons, paranormal hotspots, cryptid investigations, and the legacy of Edgar Allan Poe. Some are filled with carefully preserved props and artifacts. Others claim to be filled with, well, actual spirits. So grab your flashlight and your wallet because you know we're going to end up in the gift shop. Our first stop is in Saratoga Springs, New York. And if Mulder and Scully had a storage unit, this would be it. The X-Files Preservation Collection isn't just a museum, it's a full-on time capsule for one of the most iconic paranormal shows in television history. Nestled in upstate New York, this fan-run collection holds hundreds of original props, costumes, set pieces, and production materials from the X-Files. And it's all been lovingly curated by collectors and superfans, Jim and Kelly. Now, when you walk in, you're immediately transported into the world of FBI investigations, government conspiracies, and, well, unexplained phenomena. You'll even find screen-used items that were provided by the creator of the X-Files himself, Chris Carter. But this museum isn't just about the shock factor. It's a heartfelt tribute to the storytelling, the fandom, and the cultural impact of a show that made us all wonder what was really out there. The level of care here is incredible. Each item has a story. Every hallway feels like stepping behind the scenes. It's just a beautiful place. And I recently interviewed the owners, Jim and Kelly, and I'm so excited to share that interview and more information on the museum in our next episode. So stay tuned. Now we're going to head out to Roswell, New Mexico. And well, as we know, that is the epicenter of extraterrestrial curiosity and maybe activity. And it's maybe the best place on Earth to say we come in peace and actually mean it. Located right in downtown Roswell, the International UFO Museum and Research Center dives headfirst into the legend that made this small New Mexico town world famous. And that's the 1947 Roswell incident, where a mysterious object crashed in the desert and sparked decades of alien speculation, government denial, and, well, pop culture obsession. From the outside, the museum looks a lot like a retrofitted department store, but inside, it's a full-on deep dive into all things alien. You'll walk past glowing saucers, crash scene recreations, eyewitness testimonials, and plenty of tinfoil adjacent theories. There's even a life-size alien autopsy tableau because, of course, there is. And what makes this place especially fascinating is how well it blends eyewitness accounts and conspiracy lore with historical research. You'll find declassified government documents, press clippings, and scientific studies, all curated to help you make up your own mind. Is it spooky? Maybe. Campy? Sure. But it's also incredibly fun and surprisingly educational. Whether you're a firm believer or a healthy skeptic, there's something irresistible about a museum that treats flying saucers with the same reverence as fine art. And yes, the gift shop is out of this world. This one is for the monster kids, the ones who grew up watching late night horror flicks, reading famous monsters of filmland, and practicing their best Bela Lugosi impressions in the mirror. Welcome to Witch's Dungeon Classic Movie Museum in Plainville, Connecticut. And this is a love letter to the golden age of horror. Founded in 1966 by Cortland Hall, who is the great nephew of Henry Hall. Now, Henry Hall starred in Werewolf of London, and this museum features life-size wax figures and recreated sets from some of the most iconic horror films ever made. Like, we're talking Dracula, The Creature from the Black Lagoon, The Mummy, Frankenstein, and more. All handcrafted with stunning detail and displayed in immersive scenes that make you feel like you've stepped into one of those black and white films. This isn't a haunted house jump scare type of place. It's theatrical, reverent, and dripping with old school charm. Every figure is based on original makeup molds or reference photos from the actual films, and Cortland himself narrates parts of the tour, giving you that true insider feel. Now, there's something almost cozy about it if your idea of cozy includes a dungeon and a very lifelike Vincent Price figure, but it's spooky nostalgia at its best. All right, so next we're going to saddle up and head west for some spirits and saloon doors. And I mean spirits of two kinds. Now, if these walls could talk, they would probably scream. And located in the heart of one of the most legendary boomtown of the American West is the Washoe Club in Virginia City, Nevada. Now, it's not just a museum, it's a portal to a time when silver flowed like water. Fortunes were won and lost overnight, and ghost stories became local folklore. Originally built in the 1870s as an exclusive gentlemen's club for the Comstock elite, this once lavish 3-story building now houses one of the most famously haunted locations in the US. The first floor is still functioning saloon, so you can get those kind of spirits. And then when you head upstairs, there's a different kind of spirit. The upper floors have remained largely untouched for decades, and it offers a rare glimpse into the past. Think peeling wallpaper, antique furniture, and dusty staircases, and these all set the stage for tales of lingering spirits, phantom footsteps, and sudden cold spots. Paranormal investigators have flocked there for years, and the building's even been featured on shows like Ghost Adventures. Visitors can take daytime tours through the Haunted Museum and even book overnight investigations if you're brave enough. Some claim to have encountered the Lady in Blue, a former courtesan said to roam the hallways, or a child spirit known to tug at guests' clothing. It's Ghost Town meets Ghost Story with a shot of whiskey on the side. Next up, hold on to your EMF detectors. Sorry. This one's not for the faint of heart. If Ripley's Believe It or Not and your favorite horror movie had a baby and raised it on cursed object, you probably end up with something like Zach Bagans' Haunted Museum in Las Vegas, Nevada. This place sounds terrifying, I'm not gonna lie. Tucked inside a 1938 mansion just off the strip, this 11,000 square foot labyrinth of nightmares is the brainchild of Zach Bagans, who is the host of Ghost Adventures and one of the most recognizable faces in modern paranormal pop culture. Now, this museum isn't just spooky. It's apparently designed to unsettle you on purpose. The exhibits range from haunted dolls and demonic relics to serial killer artifacts and supposedly cursed antiques. Visitors pass through more than 30 themed rooms, each dimly lit and dramatically staged, like a horror movie set brought to life. Now, highlights, if you can call them that, include, I know here I am pronouncing things wrong, The Dubuque box, which is dubbed as the world's most haunted object, Dr. Kevorkian's van, Charles Manson's television, and a room dedicated to the demon house that Zach once owned in Indiana. Get this, there are waiver forms to be signed. Tour guides will guide you to skip certain rooms if you're feeling faint. And yes, some guests have claimed to pass out, feel nausea, or just leave with a lingering bad energy. But here's the twist, it's apparently also wildly fascinating. The level of storytelling, artifact collecting, and eerie showmanship is impressive, even for skeptics. If you love the intersection of haunted history, dark tourism, and over the top spectacle, this stop is unforgettable. Just maybe don't forget to sage yourself afterwards. Honestly, there is no way I'm stepping foot in this one. It is not going on the to visit list. Too scary. So, in that light, let's trade our ghost hunting gear for candles, crystals, and a little cauldron side history. Now, this isn't your Halloween store version of witchcraft. This is tucked into an unassuming building in Cleveland, Ohio, and it is the Buckland Museum of Witchcraft and Magic, a small but mighty portal into the world of real magical practice, alternative spirituality, and the people who have kept these traditions alive, often in the shadows. The museum started as a private collection of Raymond Buckland, a key figure in bringing Wicca to the United States in the 1960s. Buckland, often referred to as the father of American Wicca, collected hundreds of magical artifacts throughout his lifetime, from ancient ceremonial tools and tarot decks to ritual robes and preserved herbs. Today, the museum offers thoughtfully curated experiences that honor not only Wiccan and pagan practices, but also the broader spectrum of mystical, occult, and folk magic traditions from around the world. Now, despite the heavy subject matter, the vibe is supposedly warm and reverent and not overly spooky. It's more like learning circle than haunted house, but that doesn't mean it lacks atmosphere. The museum leans into its magical roots with intention and encouraging respectful curiosity and a deeper understanding of what is often misunderstood. Now, if your interests lean more towards that mystical than monstrous, I think this place is definitely, the Buckland Museum is definitely a place to put on your to visit list. So, next up, this is a fun one. If you've ever walked through a mall and thought, this would make a great zombie movie setting, well, George A. Romero already beat you to it. So the Living Dead Museum is actually nestled inside the Monroeville Mall in Monroeville, Pennsylvania, which is the actual filming location of Romero's classic 1978 zombie film, Dawn of the Dead. And this isn't just a shrine to the undead, it's a full-blown love letter to the entire zombie genre. The museum pays tribute to Romero's influence on horror cinema, the special effects pioneers who brought the flesh eaters to life, and the cultural evolution of zombies from terrifying to totally mainstream. And it's small, but it's packed with artifacts, original props, makeup appliances, and costumes, behind the scene photos and memorabilia, and just homages to zombie pop culture beyond Romero. And what makes this museum special is its deep local pride. Western Pennsylvania is ground zero for modern zombie cinema, and this museum treats it like sacred ground, with just the right amount of beef movie charm that you want from from a zombie movie. So for horror films, it's like stepping into a time capsule of undead history, and for everyone else, it's a reminder that even shopping malls have their spooky side. Next up, tucked away in the artsy town of Doylestown, Pennsylvania, home to castles, quirky museums, and a vibrant downtown, you'll find a delightfully spooky surprise, Vampa, short for the Vampire and Paranormal Museum of Pennsylvania. This indie museum feels like stepping into a gothic curio cabinet curated by your coolest spooky friend. It blends vampire lore with paranormal phenomena, creating a space that's part history, part pop culture, and all vibes. Inside, you can find a collection of vintage vampire movie posters, occult objects like haunted dolls and paranormal investigation tools, tales of vampire legends, and a shop filled with handmade oddities, metaphysical goods, and vampire inspired merch. So Vampa is definitely more intimate and low key than some of the bigger museums on this list, but I think that's what makes it also fun. And it feels like a hidden layer of Doylestown, which is already a town full of offbeat charm. And it offers a unique blend of spooky storytelling, local flavor, and fan energy. And it's perfect for anyone who loves their Halloween with, a little side of handmade candle magic. But let's end this tour on a poetic chill. And of course, it's courtesy of the master macabre himself, Edgar Allan Poe. So I have two locations. The first one is the Edgar Allan Poe House and Museum that is tucked onto a quiet street in Baltimore, Maryland. It's a modest brick row house where Edgar Allan Poe once lived. It was a small space with an outsized legacy. The House Turned Museum is one of the few remaining residences associated with Poe, and walking through its narrow halls feels like stepping into the 1930s. You can see period furnishings, early editions of Poe's work, and personal artifacts that paint a picture of the man behind the myth. The house is small, but the vibe is powerful, especially in the attic, where it's believed Poe may have written or edited some of his earliest published stories. The surrounding area has deep ties to his legacy, too. Poe is buried nearby in Westminster Hall Cemetery, and every October, fans gather for candlelight tributes on his birthday. This stop is all about intimacy, seeing where Poe lived, not just where he's been memorialized. But if we head a few hundred miles south, we can visit Poe's childhood hometown of Richmond, Virginia. And here you'll find a larger and more immersive tribute called the Edgar Allan Poe Museum. Despite never living in the actual building, the museum actually occupies the oldest house in Richmond, not one of Poe's homes. This museum is considered one of the most comprehensive Poe collections in the world. It houses rare manuscripts, original letters, exhibits on Poe's life, love, and legacy, and a courtyard garden inspired by his poem, To One in Paradise. This museum does a fantastic job blending the man's tragic biography with his creative brilliance. And it offers special events, candlelit tours, and even a black cat or two wandering the grounds. And so these two Poe stops, one rooted in personal history, the other in literary celebration, make the perfect ending to our spooky museum road trip. So from vampire curios and haunted saloons to UFO secrets and classic horror props, these museums offer more than just eerie exhibits. They tell stories. Some are stories of pop culture and paranormal legends, other of famous authors and fans keeping a legacy alive. But every one of these stops was built with care, creativity, and a love for the strange and the unusual. Now, you don't have to wait for Halloween to visit these places. Many of them are open year-round, offering a little thrill of the unknown, no matter the season. And if you've ever felt a chill in a museum hallway, seen something move out of the corner of your eye, or just love standing in weird little corners of fandom and folklore, well, you're not alone. And with that, we add another stamp to our pop culture passport. I hope this episode inspires you to get out and explore all that is quirky and cool, even in your own backyard. Follow, download, and subscribe so you don't miss future episodes. Tell a friend and leave a review if you like what we're doing. It really helps the show to grow. You can also follow me on Instagram or Facebook. Just search for The Roaming Yeti. Keep roaming and finding your fun.